Welcome to Donmar TV News Channel.
COMELEC First Division Presiding Commissioner Rowena Guanzon asked her fellow commissioner to release the resolution over the consolidated disqualification cases against presidential aspirant Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Guanzon is particularly referring to the ponente or the commissioner who will pen the main decision of the cases. Other First Division member commissioners are Aimee Ferolino and Marlon Casquejo. She explained that voters await the outcome of the petitions after she announced to release the resolution last January 17.
Anxious na kayo at marami ng haka-haka kasi as of today, January 26, kung January 10 na raffle, may 16 days na hindi pa lumalabas ang resolusyon. Ayon po sa aming internal rules ay 15 days lamang dapat may nalabas na kaming resolution.
Guanzon is set to retire next month and she assured to clean her pocket before leaving her post.
Kay House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability Chairman Michael Aglipay, kailangan nilang i-observe ang due process at bigyan pa ng pagkakataon si Health Secretary Francisco Duque III na makapagpaliwanag. Ayon kay Aglipay, sinusunod palagi ng Kamara ang rule of law, partikular ang prinsipyo ng due process na nakaukit na sa konstitusyon. Kaya naman bubuksan muli ng House Blue Ribbon Committee ang investigasyon sa issue sa DOH at Food and Drug Administration kung saan pagpapaliwanagin si Secretary Duque na hindi nakadalo sa mga nakaraang pagdinig. Kahapon sa plenaryo, iminove ni Manila 3rd District Representative John Marvin Nieto na rekonsidera ang pag-aproba sa committee report ng House Blue Ribbon Committee.
I move for the reconsideration of the adoption of findings and recommendations as contained in Committee Report number 1393 on House Resolution number 1711.
Nakasaad sa naturang report ng komite na dapat sampahan ng kaso sina Secretary Duque, dating FDA Director General Eric Domingo at iba pang opisyal dahil sa paglabag sa Section 4 ng Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees at sa Anti-Red Tape Act of 2007. May kaugnayan ito sa investigasyon ng Kamara sa Pulisiya at panuntunan ng DOH at FDA sa registration, utilization, manufacture at distribution o pagbebenta ng drug products para sa COVID-19. Nagugat ito sa pagkwestiyon sa mabagal na pag-approve at pagbibigay ng clearance sa drugs at therapeutics para sa emergency use authorization o paggamit ng drugs sa ilalim ng compassionate special permit for COVID-19.
Here from the interview of BBM, he has been very clear, he has shown great respect for everyone else involved with politics. He's never said or conducted himself in a bad way. He's never said a bad word against another politician. And yet here we have Boy Abunda when he was asking the question to Leni about who the Filipino public should vote for. She was asked about BBM and the first words that came out of her mouth were liar or sinungaling. You know, as far as I'm concerned, she has no right to really foul mouth or dirty another politician like that. You know, it's up to the Filipino public who they wish to vote for. They have freedom of choice. You know, the Filipino public can analyze all of the candidates and they can make their own decision. But to call BBM a liar, what right has she got to do that? She is not the mouthpiece of the Filipino public. You know, I'm really shocked that she would have the audacity and the gall to call BBM a liar. Of course she's welcome to give a political opinion. You know, she really seems to have bitterness and resentment, and I really can't understand her bitterness. You know, I'm very sorry. You know, I still call her Ma'am Leni. I still respect her position as Vice President of the Philippines. But as far as I'm concerned, she seems quite nervous within this interview. She didn't really seem relaxed. On the one hand, you had BBM, who seemed really relaxed and really open to questions with excellent forthright answers. And when it came to Leni, she seemed kind of like not really comfortable maybe to speak in English. She seemed really not comfortable maybe to answer in a certain way, and I wasn't really that impressed. You know, I'm really upset by this. I really have to say this. I really think it was too much. I think she should apologize. I don't think calling another candidate a liar is really a good move for somebody who would be president of the country. So I'm calling on Vice President Madam Leni today to apologize to BBM. I don't think she should be calling another candidate, any candidate, in fact, a liar. I don't think that's a good move. Of course, she's welcome to analyse the policies of BBM if she so wishes. The same as BBM is quite within his rights to analyse her policies or basically have a debate with her. Of course, that's acceptable. But to call somebody a liar without any concrete evidence, without any factual evidence, I think is wrong. And the second point I'd like to make is this, you know, whereas BBM seems very, very comfortable with an international audience, he seems very comfortable speaking in English, he seems very relaxed and answers the questions with a lot of knowledge, with a lot of sincerity, in an easy manner. When it came to the interview with Madam Leni, I have to say, and please allow me, I hope I'm not banned for saying what I want to say. You know, we should all be allowed freedom of speech on Facebook. This is a platform where we should all be allowed to, as long as we're not aggressive, as long as we don't use any swear words or bad language. You know, I've got my freedom of speech, and I believe I'm quite within my rights to exercise my freedom of speech. As I said, when it came to BBM, I saw the questioning to be open and transparent in his answers. He was very clear. He was very concise. He spoke good command of English. However, and it made me think, you know, English is the second language of the Philippines, but of course not everybody speaks Tagalog. There are over 100 dialects in the Philippines, and I'm not expecting everybody to speak all of the different dialects. Of course I'm not, but at least you could throw in a few English words. And when it came to the interview with Leni, I probably heard maybe one or two words in English for the whole interview. You know, Leni needs to be able to converse with an international audience. I'm not saying Leni can't speak English. What I'm saying is this, that during this interview, if Boy Abunda spoke English and used Taglish, you know, Leni should reciprocate. Leni should also do that as well when she's speaking to Boy Abunda. It's that here we are, you've got Leni, you've got Boy Abunda asking an open question in Taglish, and every single response from Leni, of course, was in pure Tagalog. And, you know, she's got to reach out to the international audience. You know, not everybody can speak Filipino. And also, if you look at the likes compared to the interview with BBM, it's quite clear the popularity of BBM. He's got 5.5 million views in just a couple of days. And I don't know what it was in a couple of hours, you know, but I'm quite sure that if you make a comparison, the popularity of BBM far outweighs the popularity of Madam Vice President Leni. But let's just go back to the key crucial issues again and why I made this video. I made this video because I think, isn't that slanderous? Isn't one person calling another person a liar immediately? You know, Boy Abunda was asking about various candidates, and immediately Leni said BBM is a liar. Where is her evidence? You know, I'm not happy with the way that this interview went. I haven't listened to it all because I can't understand Tagalog that well. Obviously, if she'd answered some in English, I'd be able to understand it. But I wasn't that impressed. I think she was very defensive, and I just feel that she didn't really conduct herself well. And the main thing is, here she is dissing another candidate. Here she is dissing BBM, but BBM wouldn't do the same to Leni. You know, BBM has talked about unity in the Philippines, and yet Leni seems to be talking about division. You know, she talks about the ICC coming into the Philippines, an investigation. You know, she's gonna cause so many problems. You know, there's gonna be no unity anymore. There's gonna be absolute hate for her candidacy. You know, I really don't think she's doing the right thing, and I really think she's wasted this opportunity. You know, I really believe she should have reached out to other politicians, and I believe that she should conduct herself in a way that BBM has conducted himself, i.e. trying to bring the nation together, trying to bring the Filipino people together. But from what I can see from her, the interview, from what I can see of the way she's speaking about BBM, it seems to me that she's very divisive. I hate to make these comments, but I hope that she would allow me freedom of speech, just as much as that's my right to freedom of speech and freedom of expression.